So, hello and welcome everyone. This is Madals and this is a WCS EU Challenger game. It has not been cast in English before. It is exclusive replay. And yeah, it was from the bracket stage WCS EU Challenger. It's a PvP. Of course, if you're on my Twitch channel, hello and welcome. Thank you all for tuning in. This is going to be some cool games. If you are on my YouTube channel, you could have watched this live. You definitely should have done. But either way, it's all good. Now, spawning down in the bottom right position as the red Protoss player, it is none other than Sam. And his opponent up in the top left, the blue Protoss, it's ToD. ToD, who's really awesome. ToD is just so ridiculously cool. You gotta love a bit of ToD. ToD's an awesome guy. Now, anyway, PvP. Belshire is the map. PvP is a bit of a volatile matchup. There are some build orders that are very good against other build orders and things like that. But generally at this level of play, there isn't that often you get a flat build order loss, with a couple of exceptions, because most of the builds now in PvP do account for most things. So things like if you go for Blink Stalkers and your opponent goes for DTs, well, hopefully you made a robotic facility as well. You'll get your observer out. You're not going to just lose, because that's always bad. Do you notice the Sam? Just slightly quick on that gateway, 6 seconds in game. Now, you might think, hey Madals, stop being so pedantic. God, it's 6 seconds, like that makes a difference. But actually it does. That sort of small lead will have an influencing effect on how things go down. Just a very small one, but if everything ToD does is say 6 seconds slower than that of Sam, it's not going to work out too well for it. Another big variation at the moment. 1 gas out for ToD, 2 gases immediately down for Sam. Why is this cool? Well, ToD is getting his second gas up, but again, fractionally later. It's only a little bit. Are we going to be seeing... are we going to be seeing basically one of these players go for something a bit crazy? Are we going to be seeing them go for a really tech-heavy build? Well, ToD instantly puts 3 probes and gas up there. Meanwhile, we've got 2 in each at the moment for Sam. So the fact he's going for 2 different, very different in terms of the gas timings isn't huge, but it's just a tiny weeny little bit of a change, and we can see that in the gas there. Sam fractionally ahead in the gas income, but by a very marginal amount. ToD mining slightly, or actually they're both mining the same amount now, as they do both go up to 3 probes. Oh, actually no, ToD is slightly ahead actually in gas. He's got 3 there, gone up to 3 and 3 now, so he is going to be getting a bit more gas. He's got the option to get a bit more tech out. Going for the second gateway too, this is quite cool. Meanwhile, second gateway also coming down from Sam. So currently, very similar openings. The difference is just that small additional amount of gas that ToD was mining for a very, very small amount of time. It was tiny, I'll give it that much, but it was enough to make a small difference, and we'll wait and see how things come down. But ToD also is yet to start his Mothership Core. Mothership Core is on its way down. There it comes for ToD. Again, a small delay in the differences, and these tiny things in a mirror matchup do make quite a chunk of difference if it goes into the mid-game where there's any kind of interesting timing pushes. It can make some interesting stuff happen. But for the moment, these two not really showing any tech. They're both just sitting with the 2 gateways. But here we go, tech coming down. Twilight Council out of Sam. ToD not getting anything at the moment. Does have a pylon on the back of this mineral line, which sometimes can indicate that it's going to be a Twilight Council or perhaps a Stargate. The reason for that is that it's slightly more hidden, and yeah, ToD hiding that all the way back there. And this is quite interesting because, again, this is just a stab in the dark, a bit of a cold read, but if you put a Twilight Council right at the back, it sometimes means it's going to be DTs, because you're trying to hide it, you're trying to get it not scouted by a probe that moves in. We've also got a good positioning here from ToD with some units, just playing it so actually his opponent can't scout too easy. Only a Mothership Core there at the moment for Sam, but Sam is going DTs. Are we going to see a game 1 with DT on DT action? Because if we did, that would be absolutely stunning. But, well, for the moment, ToD, he's getting down to robotic facility. Has he caught whiff that something is going on here? No, he hasn't. He hasn't seen the Twilight Council or the Dark Shrine on its way. But getting the Robo going to be really important for him, because that means he can grab out some observers. He'll be able to scout. He'll be able to basically see if they come in. He's got the detection needed, but he does need to get that out relatively soon. Is sending the Hallucinated Phoenix over. I love the use of hallucination and just getting the Hallucinated Phoenix for scouting information, especially in PvP early when there's the Mothership Core and stuff like that. They can do such an awesome job of denying a probe scout. You need the information of what's coming down. ToD getting Blink, so it's CTs versus Blink, but as I said, we do have the robotic facility there. It's all looking pretty nice, and everything is going fairly good actually. The Hallucinated Phoenix does get a good scout, sees the Dark Shrine, really important. That means, well, instantly ToD, he should chrono boost out that observer, and because he knows it's DTs and he's got the observer, he's going to expand. This isn't risky at all in my opinion. The reason for that is because his opponent is doing a DT expand. He knows for a fact that DTs, they're not going to do damage to me because I've got an observer. If I've got an observer, guess what? There is nothing you can do with those DTs, 0. So I can expand and be safe and be happy. Also, we do see that ToD doesn't actually see yet that the expansion coming down quite yet for Sam, but the DT is wandering back. He knows he got scouted, so just made the one. It's not too much of an investment. Sam is also getting down his Immortal, and therefore the Immortal on its way just means that he's going to get a nice amount of stuff. The Blinkstalkers won't be able to do that much as of yet, but ToD, he's jumping down with the Forge, so he's not going all in or anything like that. He's got the expansion down. He's just very nicely getting up a sizable army. He should be in a pretty comfortable... Ooh, ToD actually cancelled Blink. Ooh, okay. I didn't notice that at first, but no Blink will be coming down now for ToD. ToD actually is pumping out the Immortal himself, getting the expansion down ASAP. We'll find the Proxy Pylon and take that down. Proxy Pylon for ToD hasn't yet been scouted by Sam though, so that's still a little window of opportunity. Admittedly, this Proxy is quite a long way out in terms of where it can go. It's not miles away, but it could be closer compared to positioning as that pylon had it not been scouted. But the advantage of it being a little bit further away is just that actually it probably won't get scouted for a long time, and that's good news. Now, Forge only just coming down now for Sam, whereas +1 has already started for ToD. So assuming the corner boost the same on these upgrades, ToD will have a small upgrade lead, albeit a little bit of a small one, but that's fine. It's any leads are always going to be good. Army supply and worker supply, pretty similar. Slightly more army for ToD, slightly more workers for Sam, but only by a fraction of an amount. So I wouldn't be concerned about this, to be honest. I'd say these two currently very equal in how everything's going. There's not too much to really scream about. Resources lost, Sam's lost 100 more, but again, absolutely tiny, to be honest. And that's not something that's going to bother you. It's not something that you're going to sit there and go, oh, an extra 100 resources lost nearly 10 minutes into the game. That's game changing. It isn't. It's all safe. Now, this is quite cool. Sam going for the Templar Archives first. This is going to be very interesting to see what he does, how he transitions out of this. Will he get down charge, for example, go for a charge for the Archon style play? It's a possibility. He's definitely going to have some Archons in the mix, but then if he's going charge for the Archon, he already has the Dark Shrine. He can get some DTs to do that. So lots of interesting stuff going to be coming down here. We do have, of course, for ToD at the moment. He's getting his own charge down. There comes charge at the moment now for Sam. So it is going to be a couple of High Templar ready to start coming in. He's also got the option then to feed back the Mothership Core. That's actually a really cool play that can be very effective. Meanwhile, ToD, he's also getting down his Templar Archives too. So these two mirroring each other just a little bit at the moment. I'm sure I heard a feedback there somewhere. It may have been in my imagination, but I heard a funny noise. I think I was imagining things because ToD's Mothership Core is very safely back with his army, but both players going up to their thirds. This is quite cool. It's not very often you see 3-base PvP anyway, but notice ToD scouted it very early on, so that's what triggered him to get his third. The initial move was by Sam, who does have his Nexus down quite a bit sooner, but not by enough that it's going to be absolutely crazy, especially if ToD is able to punish it. He's got a sizable army. The army supply pretty similar at the moment, but it's the Warp Prism coming down that's going to be really interesting. Are we going to be seeing some drop play? Well, ToD, he's got pylons in his main, he's got vision ready to see anything that could be moving in, any damage that could be coming down. But all in all, with the upgrades, pretty similar, and they are really pretty similar. They're both at 1-1, they're both getting, well, they should both be getting +2 soon, both got charged at the same time. It's relatively equal. Good SimCity coming down here from ToD, just making sure that Photon Cannon's really safe. He's got quite a few now High Templar in the mix. Archon count, well, it's 2. About to be 2 for ToD if he wants to. There we go. So yeah, all very equal. We do have a DT warping in somewhere. Where is that DT I heard? Is it in? Oh, it's in the Warp Prism, but of course there is still that Photon Cannon there. That means detection of this third base and denial of the Nexus. Probably going to be a little bit tough, just due to the fact that there's so much here, and with detection the DT can't even make things go bonkers yet. But yeah, Warp Prism retreating out. Denial of any kind of harassment there from Sam. ToD going to be happy with that. Meanwhile, probe transfer just coming down. It's not a huge probe transfer, but it's all good. Everything looking pretty fine. Photon Cannon also coming. Second Photon Cannon coming down. After that Warp Prism has been seen, ToD very cautious not to get dropped. That's the big thing. And, well, both players positioning around the centre. In terms of army supply, Sam has taken a bit of a lead at the moment, 71 to 55. Overall supply, though, about the same difference because the work count is very similar. Sam, though, with a good couple of DTs here, is he going to morph another Archon? Yes, he will. Wants to make this force as strong as he can. ToD is exactly equal on the Immortal and Archon count. The reason he's losing a lot of that supply is just because of how many Zealots are in Sand's army. There is the defender's advantage here though. These two gateways probably going to be forced to cancel. The cannon gets taken out very quickly, and unfortunately the SimCity, meaning the concave for ToD, would be absolutely terrible. Has triggered Photon Overcharge, but a lot of production facilities getting taken out now. San is starting to move forward. ToD round the back of his Nexus thing. If you want to engage me, you've got to come in here where I can get that good attack off. But San, he felt like he did some good damage there and pulls out. He's still losing more though than ToD has so far this game. ToD not only counter-attacking, remember he does have this pylon down here, so he could have gone for some warpins, but unfortunately losing those gateways just means that he's one gate down, which is a bit of a reduction. But oh, big engagement coming down here at the ramp, and wow, nice position for San, to be honest. ToD's got to be very careful. His Zealot count is very insignificant compared to that of Sans. That means the amount of damage that can get tanked up by those Zealots is going to skyrocket. Both players are 2-2. Nice positioning here for ToD. He's engaging half of this army while all the Zealots are in his natural, but that means that if he doesn't win this fight and cleans this up, well, basically the Zealots are taking out nearly all of ToD's workers at the natural. He's already down to 42. San is also doing well here, and ToD, he GG's out. The Immortal stayed up at the back, and he was in a very good spot. So that was game number 1 of a best of 3. If you enjoyed it, like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe to my YouTube. If you're on Twitch, make sure you hit that follow button. Game 2 will be coming straight up.